Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I made this Birkin bag for myself. It's actually the first draft of this pattern, so I used an unstructured, it's kind of a light material, and I also have raw edges, which because of it's the first draft, the sample, I did not actually know how well it would turn out, so I didn't want to waste my time edge coating. It is also unlined, and for the first draft, I think it turned out pretty well actually. So I'm going to link the pattern down below for you guys to download it. Cut out your pattern pieces and sew along with me. So without much talk, let's get right into the video. So I'm starting out having cut out my pieces. I have my flap and then the gusset panels. I also have the holes marked where the strips of the lock are going to go through. I have the base panel and I have the main body panel. I also have my straps, the strips for the lock. These are just the bag charms that I have cut out, and these we're going to use them to stabilize the strap pieces. Okay, so what I would do first, what I did rather, was to punch out all the holes and cut out all the holes. Then on the base, I'm going to stabilize the areas where we're going to install the purse feet. So I'll stabilize those areas and then I will just install my purse feet on the base. So after installing, I'm just going to put some tape over the metal prongs so they don't irritate my material later on. I'm going to go ahead to sew my straps now. I'm going to insert the cotton rope, the cotton cord in between, and then I'm just going to use some glue to secure it at the edges before I go into stitch. Now you can as well sew your straps closed first before inserting your cord or your pipe or whatever it is that you're using as your handle filler. You can just insert that later after it has been sewn, but I just prefer to do it this way. This is what my strap looks like when it's done, and it looks pretty good, right? So we are going to go ahead to pick up our strap stabilizer and just insert it as I'm doing, and then I'm going to secure that with super glue. So this covers up the rest of the handle filler that is showing at the bottom, and it also helps us to give more strength to the strap because we are going to be stitching over that part later on. So it should look like this, and you want to do that to both ends of your straps, both ends of both of your straps. Now I'm going to move on to secure my lock strip. So I'm going to be using two pieces. I'm going to glue them together, two pieces for one strip. So I'm going to glue it together, and then I'm just going to stitch all around that. So it looks like this once you're done, and you want to do that to both strips. Okay, then I'm just going to go ahead to sew all around the holes I cut out, and the holes for where the strips are going to pass through, where my bridge connector is going to come out of, and also where the lock is going to be coming out of as well. So this is what it looks like when we are done. I'm just going to do that to basically all the holes. I will just trace around it by probably like an eighth, or even maybe a little bit lesser than an eighth of an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the holes at the gussets. You're just going to go around it with a stitch as well, and then I'm going to do that off camera so you don't have to watch it over and over again. So what I'm going to do next is to just make a decorative stitch at the edges of my flap. So it's looking very nice, and I'm done with my flap. So you want to make sure that you stitch around the holes on your main body panel as well. So next I'm going to install my lock, this part of my lock on this piece, and then I'm going to make sure that I use my tape to protect the metal prongs at the back, so like I said earlier, they don't irritate my leather. So next I'm just going to center it and top stitch at the front of the bag. So next we want to go over to pick up our base panel and center it at the base area. I'm just applying some oil. I do that occasionally to help my material move smoothly when I'm sewing. So I'm going to go ahead and top stitch my base onto the main panel. Next I'm going to center and place my my straps. So I'm going to place them properly and make sure that they're positioned rightly, and I would secure that with some glue just to make sure that they don't move while I'm top stitching it. Secure it with some glue. I'll do that for the front and the back of the bag, and then I'll just go ahead to top stitch it in place. So I'm only doing one side on camera, but you technically have to top stitch on all the ends of your strap, on all 4 ends of the strap. So next I'm going to insert the strip of the lock into the back panel of the bag, the hole that is in the back panel, and then I'm going to secure it with some glue. You can decide to stitch, but I just decided to permanently secure this with some rivets. You can also decide that you prefer stitching and do that as well. I'm using double-sided rivets, the one that has the caps on both ends, and then I'll just set that off camera. So I top stitched the upper part of the front part of the bag. I didn't know I wasn't filming, so I'm just showing you guys that I did that. And then I'm going to go ahead to just sew my gusset panel to the main panel. I'll do that on both sides, and basically I think my bag construction is actually almost done. It's quite simple, although this is just like, you know, a prototype. It's technically the first one I'm doing, and I use this very soft material just to, you know, test out the pattern and see if it is if everything is fitting nicely, and it looks pretty good. So on the next one I would consider maybe adding lining and a pocket and using a more structured material, or I could decide to just use a stiffener or a stabilizer to give the bag more structure. But overall I'm very pleased at how it came out, so it looks very lovely. So I'm done with one side. Now I'm just going to go ahead and sew the second side as well, just the same way we did the first. And also remember that you don't have to do raw edges. I basically did not want to go through the stress of edge coating because it was basically a sample, like a prototype. But if I will be doing this, like actually making a bag, an actual bag, like not a tester, a testing piece, I would definitely edge coat it and, you know, give it more structure. So I'm done sewing and it's looking very nice, but I completely forgot to install my the bridge connector, so I'm just going to do that. And I'll also be protecting the leather at the back with my tape, and then I will just cover that up with a strip of leather. Of course, in the final construction of the pattern, I would definitely be finding a better way to, you know, install that. That's probably where the lining and all of that would come in. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert the strip through all the holes, and then I'm going to install the lock. And I think that's basically the final step. Once I'm done with that, the bag is done. So like I said earlier, this is basically the first version, and if you're going to be downloading this pattern to try this out, you can definitely tweak it, add things that you feel should be added, take away some things that need to be, you know, removed, and that's it. So that's how I made my bag, and I will definitely be making better ones in the nearest future. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Help my content, you know, grow more, help more people to see my videos. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. I am really grateful for the views, the comments, the likes. Thank you for your support on TikTok and IG, everywhere. I'm so grateful. So it's basically done, and then I'm just going to go ahead to add my charms, the charms that we cut out earlier. So I'll just be attaching these strips of vinyl that I cut. I'm going to attach it to the heart shape and the key shape as well. Next, I'll just knot it on the bag, and that is basically it. My bag is done and ready.